Artificial intelligence, it can feel like straight up magic, right? But what if I told you that behind every single smart recommendation, every facial scan, there's a learning process that we can actually wrap our heads around? So today, let's pull back the curtain and break down how AI really learns. I mean, think about it. This question pops up in our lives every single day. When your phone just unlocks by looking at you, or when your favorite streaming service somehow knows exactly what you want to watch next. It seems impossibly complicated, but the big idea at the heart of it all, it's actually way more straightforward than you might think. Okay, you ready for it? The big secret ingredient is data. Yep, that's it. The entire world of AI, I'm talking everything from a basic spam filter all the way up to those huge language models, it's all built on this one single thing, data. It's the food, it's the textbooks, it's the teacher, it's everything. All right, so let's dive into that. Let's talk about that so-called secret ingredient. Because you got to understand, before an AI can do anything that seems smart, it first has to wade through just a mountain of information. Okay, here's a great way to picture it. Think of a brand new AI as a student sitting in an empty classroom. It can't learn anything, right? It needs books, and for an AI, those books are data. The more books it reads and the more different kinds of books it has in its library, the smarter it gets. Simple as that. So, what kind of books are we even talking about here? Well, it's pretty much everything you can imagine. If you want an AI to learn what a cat is, you have to show it millions, and I mean millions of pictures of cats. To learn a language, it's got to read a mind-boggling amount of text from, websites, articles, books. It watches videos. It crunches endless spreadsheets full of numbers. Every single piece of that data is like another page in its textbook. Okay, so the AI has its giant library full of books. But how does it actually learn from them? I mean, you can't just dump all this data into a machine and hope for the best, right? Nope. There's actually a blueprint, a kind of 4-step plan that turns all that raw info into an actual usable skill. And this is what that blueprint looks like. Step 1, you collect just a crazy amount of data, all those digital books. Then the real training starts. This is where you let an algorithm, which is really just a set of rules, loose on the data. Its job? Sift through everything and start finding connections. From there, it starts to spot key patterns. And the final step? It uses those patterns to make really educated guesses or predictions about totally new stuff it's never encountered. And this right here is probably the most important thing to get. When we say an AI learns, what we really mean is pattern recognition. That's its superpower. It doesn't understand what a spam email is, not like you and I do. It's just looked at millions of emails and figured out, hey, messages with phrases like, "you've won," or "urgent action required," have a super high chance of being junk. It's just seeing a statistical link. It's all just math, not real understanding. But of course, the story doesn't end there. It's not like the AI learns all this stuff once and then just stops. No way. The real magic, the real power of AI is that it's designed to get better and better over time. And this is where good old-fashioned practice comes in. So how does it improve? Well, it all comes down to a constant feedback loop. Seriously, it's just like how we learn anything new. The AI has to know when it got something right. And, maybe even more importantly, it has to know when it messed up. So here's how that loop works in the real world. The AI makes a guess. Let's say it flags an email as spam. Then, that guess gets checked against the right answer. Maybe you, the user, go in and mark it as not spam. Whoops, the AI made a mistake. So it tweaks its internal logic a tiny bit to try and not make that same mistake next time. Now imagine it doing that millions or even billions of times, over and over again. Honestly, this is the best way to think about it. It is exactly like practicing a skill, like learning guitar or shooting hoops. You try something, you mess up, you figure out why you messed up, and you get a little bit better. For an AI, every single mistake it corrects is just one more rep in the gym. Okay, this brings us to a super, super important point. If an AI learns only from data, then it makes sense that the quality of that data is, well, it's everything. And this is a concept you hear a lot in the field. Garbage in, garbage out. And you see the results of all this practice all around you, every day. That video recommendation that's spookily accurate, it learned from what you watch. Your spam filter that actually works, it learned from millions of emails. Your smartphone's Face ID, your voice assistant, all of it. But here's the catch. In every single one of these examples, how good that AI is depends completely on the quality of the data it was trained on. And that's why this is so critical. Look, if you train an AI on good, clean, unbiased data, you're going to get fair and accurate results. It just works. But if you train it on bad data, data that's biased or just plain wrong, the AI will learn all those biases and flaws. And what you get on the other side is an AI that makes flawed, incorrect, and sometimes even harmful decisions. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The intelligence in AI isn't some kind of magic. It's really just a mirror. It's a reflection of the data we gave it. At the end of the day, an AI can only ever be as good, or, for that matter, as bad, as the data it was trained on. And that leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? As these AI systems get woven deeper and deeper into our lives, learning from every click, every search, every digital footprint we leave behind, you have to wonder, what exactly is it learning about us?